Hello and welcome to Bruce's Lock-In Lunch. Today's a special one. What I've tried to do in these videos is to show you how to make stuff from the stuff that you bought at the supermarket that you didn't really know why you bought it or what you're going to do with it. This is slightly different actually, because this isn't anything from a supermarket at all, apart from actually two things. So I was walking past a restaurant in Hampstead High Street today, and they just started putting out food from the fridge because they were closed and they couldn't use it. So they were giving it to people who might be able to use it or needed it or wanted it, and they're very clear that you shouldn't take any more than you could use. But so I saw what they had. I mean, they did have a really nice chocolate ice cream, which is in the freezer. But they also had some nice vegetables. They had some really great looking spuds. So I got a couple of those. They had some nice looking leeks, so got some of those. They had a few shallots, so quite a few shallots there, well 4. And I thought, well, if I've got leeks and shallots and spuds, I could probably make leek and potato soup, or usually some others. And I thought that I would show you how to do that, just in case you didn't know. There is an extra thing you'll need for this, which is a bit of butter, because we don't want it to be too healthy. If you don't want to use butter, you can use non-dairy fat, or you can use olive oil or whatever, but I just think it's tasty with a bit of butter. Right, so first of all we need to peel the spuds and cut up the leeks. So there we go. Peel the shallots. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to cook them in a little bit of butter just to reduce them down. Just chop them roughly. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to chopping, but I can chop reasonably quickly. And again, it doesn't have to be exact, it can just be a nice rough chop. Last one. Oh, there we go. Fab. So 4 shots. That's shot. That's shot. Sorry, can't resist that one. Okay, so there we go. Next we'll peel the spuds, although we should actually get the shallots and leeks on first, but why not? This spud is a little bit soft, but it's still fine. It's certainly fine for soup. I mean, if you like your spuds absolutely crispy, then this one is probably not for you. But if you don't mind, I mean, it would be. It's perfectly fine. It's not growing eyes or anything. It's not looking as though it's past its best. Actually, those shallots smell really good, I have to say. You can see a few bits of potato peelings going on the floor. I'll pick them up later, don't worry, I have spotted it. Yep, this one's not quite as good nick as the other one, but it's not bad. We'll just chop anything that looks as though it's unpleasant away from it. I think the rest of it's fine actually, it's just there's a little bit at the bottom there which needs sorting out. Yeah, it's just a few bits here. That's fine. Okay, so this bit can all go into the recycling, and I'll pick up the bits on the floor. Okay, and finally, we're not going to put these in yet, but I'm just going to chop these up into cubes, because they will just vanish into the soup once it's cooking. Potatoes just add the starch. So So far, so vegan. Oh, you mean, oh, actually, apart from the butter, which you can replace. Also, you can replace the stock cube. This is just a it's a vegetable stock cube. And you can replace that as well with something that's suits your sensibilities, whatever you want to do. So there we go, there's that. Move this to one side. Chuck a lump of butter in. I like Kerrygold and I'll explain why. Most butters that you see that say that they're British or English are actually not. They're produced in the country that they say they are, the French butters and the English butters, but they're actually made from milk from lots of different countries. Kerrygold is the only one that I know of. I'm sure there are others. I think the Jersey one's the same, where it's all butter from the cows from one country. So that's why I like it. Oh, I'm going to do that one as well. I'll do that one in a minute. But let's put this one on the heat. So let's finish chopping up the potatoes. Should do about the same amount of potatoes you've got leeks. So this is about the same amount of potatoes I've got leeks. Fabulous. So what we're doing now is we've just put everything in the pan, and we're just basically just getting it down till it's soft. Don't want it to be going brown and curly or crispy. Just want it nice, and they call it translucent when it's like onions. But what you want is, the idea is to get the sweetness to come through. So you just need to cook it slowly and just enough so that sweetness comes out. And you can tell when that's happening because there's a smell that comes off them, and there's a feeling when you're going around with the spoon. You just know when that's going to happen. I'm just going to leave them to what's called sweat for a bit. So on a nice low light, lid on, and let them sweat. Okay, so these seem to be sweating down pretty well. They're nice and moist and they're pliable. So at this point, I'm going to put the potatoes in. Now I've checked the amount of potato that I've got, and actually it's a lot more potato than I need, certainly by weight. So I'm only going to put half of that in. The other half I'm going to turn into roast potatoes because I reckon they're going to be really nice. Seeing as I'm not vegan, that'll have lots of goose fat in it as well. But this leek and potato soup needs just enough potatoes to make it leeky and potatoey. Now you can put cream in this. You can put milk in it. If you don't like cream or milk, you can put non-dairy. I guess almond milk would do. Non-dairy spread. The other thing you can do at this point is also to season. So I would put a bit of, it's just enough. We're going to put a stock cube in with the stock in a minute, so don't want to put too much seasoning in because the stock cube will carry its own seasoning, but just enough just to get it to the base of the food. So there we go, just stir that in a bit. Just cook it for about another 5 minutes, I reckon that'll do it. Okay, so I've put the remaining potatoes into a saucepan. I'm going to stick them on the hob too. And a little bit of boiling water in. And boil them for about 10 minutes. Make sure they're covered. A little bit of salt. What the salt does is not necessarily impart the flavour to the potatoes, though it does a bit. What it does is it makes the water saline, and salty water boils at a higher temperature. And what that means is that the potatoes will cook better, faster, more deeply, all of the nice things that you want a potato to do. It's very dull to look at. Let's have a quick look at this one, see how this one's coming along. That's fine. So what we're going to do now is, now that we've got a boiled kettle of water, we're going to put some water and some stock into that. I don't know how much this is, but it's probably enough to cover what's in there. That feels about right. Let me show you roughly what that looks like. So we've just put enough water in to cover the potatoes and the leeks. And what we'll do now is add a stock cube. I'm going to put a vegetable stock cube in so that it's vegetably. These are gels rather than stock cubes. But they're all pretty much the same. I just like a gel. I have no idea why I like gels, but I prefer gels. I just do. There we go. Let that come to the boil. And there we go. That's the finished product, the leek and potato soup. I've chopped a few chives on the top. There's only one thing to do now, which is to taste it. You can see it's quite a thick soup. You can kind of turn the spoon; it doesn't fall off. But it is bloody good. That is a seriously good soup. I made quite a lot, so I may have to, and I can't share it with anyone because I'm in isolation. Well, not isolation, but lockdown. So I'm just going to I might have to freeze some of it actually, but it does freeze, it's fine. But that is a bloody good soup. I really like that. In case you wondered what happened to the roast potatoes, this is what happened to the roast potatoes. Cooked in goose fat, and wow, that is seriously good. That is seriously good. They're not going to last very long.